Hey YouTube, this is on the Prepper One. The building's completed in the phase that the company had to do. I still have lots to do to it, but it'll be a slow progress. Basically, time and money is going to dictate how fast I get on it. But let me show you a few things. So if you're going to put up a carport or a metal building, it will help you. I learned things as we went along. Let me show you a few things. This is a 24 by 100. It is a non-certified building. There's a difference between a certified building and a non-certified. When I get done with it, it'll be more than certified in this sense what I'm going to be doing to it. Like a certified building, you see those supports going up right there? They would be longer. They'd be twice that long, and they would come from here up to there, give it more support. I'm going to put some in, but me and Nate are going to do it. And the reason is I don't know exactly my final plan for here, so I didn't want those sticking into the building too much. My ultimate goal is to close in the backside, but actually build 2x6 walls and then use 2x8s or 2x10s going across for the ceiling, and that would make 8 foot tall, and that would leave a big space on top of it for storage. And that would be used for totes and all kinds of other stuff, so I can get more organized. And that will be the back side. And then maybe just enclose the front side to keep the wind and the rain out. But it's a work in progress. But right now, it's something that we should have done a long time ago, dry storage. Like all those piles were outside with tarps on them. It was a disaster. Every time it rained, you worried about it. You added an extra tarp. It was just a pain. And then you had to get at something. You had to take all the tarps off, all the blocks off. And anytime you store anything under tarps, you can get moisture coming from underneath, from the ground. So it's not the best, but it worked. But now, hopefully, we can be able to get the projects done, and then that will eliminate a lot of the construction supplies there that we're using. Another thing that will definitely make it certified, and this is not certified, and I believe this is one of the factors. I don't know if you can see that, but you see the support coming across. Normally there'd be a few more in there, and me and Nate will add those and make it stronger. We're trying to save a little bit of money because this building, man, everything's expensive. Even the surcharges on the metal, it's crazy, but that's the new reality. Let me show you the outside, how they trimmed it. The sun's pretty glaring, but you might, as you can see, they did very nice. Box that in for me, and that way I'm going to put gutters on that and then collect all the water. As you can see, we did the whole gutter system's done underground. All the drainage is done. There's a French drain in here, so basically any water that falls in this huge area is going to be put into one of the black pipes and sent out of here. So eventually there'll be gutters, and we'll bring the downspout right down that and tie it in. We'll probably 45 it, move that gravel, so you won't really see this. Eventually will be all cut off, all that underground. The goal is to collect the water, but also get the water away from the building. Water next to any building is not recommended. Let me show you how they secured it. That sun is pretty harsh. We'll walk over here. But we have rebar, and then we have the hurricane strapping, mobile home style strapping. Let me see if I can find you one. Get a better picture. Those are augured into the ground with a machine, so they're not coming out. And then it's bolted to the frame to hold it to the ground. And then you have rebar, long rebar staked in. So the backside will be animals for now, and eventually they'll be gone. So the quicker we can actually finish the other building, and the other building we have to build ourselves. The original goal, we salvaged all the materials to build this, but one of the things is we didn't have time. Nate blew his knee out, totally ripped his ACL, so he's got surgery coming up, and we had a few other things we needed to do, so we had to just bite the bullet, have someone else do it. I usually like doing everything myself, but sometimes you can't. You cannot do it. So temporarily hung those lights. They're unbelievable. I did a review on those things. I'm actually going to buy some more of those. Now they draw a lot of power, like 140 watts. So I'm not going to do them all, but I'm going to put a few more in there because during the night you turn those two on, it makes it like daylight in here so you can work, and that's the purpose of it. So what is this building going to be for? Right now it's so we have a room to work. I've had this for 6 months and I haven't had the ability to put it together. So we're going to make a double barrel stove. My buddy's making a barrel stove with no kit that you can buy. This you got to buy. He's going to make it all from scratch, so I'll show you that so you can compare it. That's our tool trailer, so we'll be able to have tools handy to the work site. But this is also for me, my son, our family, but it's also a place, worst case, if people have to leave their retreat or their home or apartment, they'll have a place to come. Yes, I can move it, clean this out more, and basically use all the building materials just to make some platforms. I can line platforms up on both sides, and I could put a bunch of tents in here and just have an aisleway. That's one of the purposes. To be able to provide for other people. We don't know what's going to happen a year from now. We don't know what this recession is going to turn into, a depression. So it's just another way to help people that I have agreements with. I have friends that if I had to leave my place, I could go to their house and they will do the best to accommodate me, and vice versa. So it's a MAG. It's just a group of people that care about each other. Am I going to invite perfectly good strangers in here? Probably not. Unless they're highly recommended by another family member or someone that I know highly. So it will be used for an emergency. If something happens right now, I have a bunch of metal we've salvaged over the years, and they'd be the sheeting metal. I would definitely can close in a large section of this. Yeah, it'd look funny because I got red, I got black, I got green, I got gray, I got silver. So it'd look like the coat of many colors, but at least keep the wind out. And then that one wood stove will be able to be put in here. So I can provide some very basic shelter for people. If I had to start all over today and go to a piece of property, especially if it was just me and my wife or you're a single person, first thing I would do after the land was cleared enough, I would put a building in. It doesn't have to be this big. I would put a building in. The reason is I could use the gutters. I could collect water. I could purify that water and have normal drinking water, so I wouldn't have to have a well right away. You could put this on your property and definitely point it in the right direction, so you could put solar panels up here. You know, in the back you could make a small apartment, even if you only had a big, huge tent. You put a tent in here, or you could buy a cheap camper and put it under here, and this would be heaven. You could put a camper here, you could put a barbecue grill, you could put a couple picnic tables. You could definitely have a huge area so you wouldn't be crowded in a tent or in a camper. I've known a lot of people that put campers on their property and lived in them for a year or two. It's hard, very hard, but if you have a huge space, especially you need a space, because if you sell your house and you move somewhere, you're gonna have a lot of stuff. And if you had totes, you could definitely keep it nice and dry, keep the bugs and mice out of it, and have a place to store your lumber as you build. Because a lot of times, if you're like me, you can salvage things. And if you salvage something, you gotta have a place to put it. I've known a lot of people that salvage stuff and put it outside, put it under tarps, and eventually they go to get it. Tarps leak, the product is junk. So they've wasted money trying to get it, and they've wasted that material. So having dry storage is a must. So far I like the build. I love the building. The company did great. Cost-wise, something like this without all the site work, we did the site work ourselves with the equipment, you're running probably $7 to $7.50 per square foot, it looks like, on average. So you can take your building size and figure that. Now that's not counting gravel. Gravel in my area is expensive. It's not counting all of the work we did to put in the all the piping for underwater to get the water away from the building. But it is an option, especially if you're a single person. You don't have to have this huge thing. You go half this size. You could go with a tent, and you could work on your property. The key is not to be paying interest. Interest is bad. Interest just steals your money. So if you can get by without it, you're just further ahead. A lot of people get huge mortgages, or they get big old rent, and it's hard for you. So you might have to, when you start out, downsize, be small, and work to get to that place. Don't look at someone and say, oh man, they got this nice place. Yeah, they've been working at it for 30 years. They've been working at it for 40 years. If you're a young person, you're not going to have this. But if you're dedicated and you start small and you spend your money wisely. I spend my money on tools. Why do I spend my money on tools? Because if I have a tool, I can do the job. If I can do the job, I don't have to hire someone. I save a huge amount of money. So that's my philosophy. I hate paying someone to do something I can do. Now, if I can't do it, I'm willing to pay someone, and I'm willing to pay a premium because I want a professional to do the job. It killed me to have these people come in, but I am so glad now. The other one we're going to have to build from scratch, but it's going to be built a lot better because the base units we're using are 4 times that size, literally 4 times. I had a good buddy that we helped at the greenhouse, and he gave me enough to do 76 feet of that on both sides. The post going up will be probably 40% bigger than those. And then what I did was I bought the actual pieces that go, and they're more the arch kind, the ones that you typically see, the cheaper carports. I have those, so it will be a fun build. And then as soon as that's built, the animals can be in one location. And that will include the pigs, the chickens, the turkeys, everything, rabbits, the cow, everything will be in one location. So it will actually save me a lot of time because I can go to one place. I've already thoroughly enjoyed this because the animals are under cover. It is no fun going out when it's pouring rain, taking care of animals, getting sopping wet. It's no fun. So this will let me take care of them in the dry, and it'll be a huge, huge blessing. So if you're thinking about a metal building, even a carport, they give you instant dry storage. I would rather be on an acre of land with a small carport and a tent than in an apartment. That's just me. I'd drive me crazy. In the Army, I was in places where I had to be on post, so I didn't have my freedom as living out in the country. I think coming up now, it'd be better if you have 1 acre of land and a tent on it than have a big mortgage. What's coming up? If you can't pay that mortgage, you're going to lose it anyways. If you got any questions about the metal building, send me an email to southernprepper1@yahoo.com. Please, there's scammers out there. They're using Southern Prepper 1. They might misspell it a little bit. They put like Gmail or whatever. Don't respond to them. If someone responds on any comment saying contact me with any information, it is not me. It is not me. southernprepper1@yahoo.com. Thanks for watching.